One tiny engine part has cost some Citroën owners thousands of euros. But is your PureTech actually one of the risky ones, or is the internet blowing it out of proportion? Today, I'll show you which PureTechs are at risk, the warning signs, and if they're still worth buying in 2026. But before I talk about how good the PureTech engine can actually be, there's one thing every owner needs to know. One clever engineering idea ended up becoming its biggest weakness. It's called the wet timing belt. At first I thought it was just another internet horror story, but once I looked into it, the issue made perfect sense. Unlike most engines, early 1.0 and 1.2, PureTechs run the timing belt inside the engine oil. On paper, it was brilliant, quieter, more compact, and lower friction. The problem? Heat and oil gradually break the belt down. Tiny fragments then circulate through the engine, clogging the oil pickup and starving critical components like the turbo and camshaft of lubrication. And that's why these engines rarely fail without warning. Long before anything catastrophic happens, the engine usually drops hints. You might hear a ticking noise, notice rough idling, irregular power loss, or an oil pressure warning. They're easy to ignore because the car often still drives normally. But if you keep driving, what could have been a timing belt replacement can quickly become a €5,000 engine rebuild. That's why catching the symptoms early makes all the difference. And just when many people thought the wet belt saga was finally behind us, another issue surfaced. In February 2025, Stellantis announced a major recall affecting certain 1.2 PureTech engines built between late 2022 and late 2024. Engineers discovered a manufacturing issue involving the piston cooling oil jets that, in rare cases, could allow oil to reach hot engine components. That could lead to smoke, a strong burning oil smell, and potentially increase the risk of an engine bay fire. The recall affected more than 270,000 vehicles worldwide, including large numbers of Citroën C3s, Peugeot 208s, Opel Corsas, and several related models built between late 2022 and late 2024. If your car falls within that production range, don't wait. Check your VIN with your local dealer and confirm whether the recall work has already been completed. In most cases, the fix was relatively straightforward, involving an oil and filter service designed to fix the issue before it could cause more serious problems. Now, does this mean every PureTech engine is doomed? Absolutely not. Many have covered huge mileages with proper maintenance and timely repairs. But, as someone who genuinely loves Citroën, I'd much rather know the risks than pretend they don't exist. Because understanding this engine is the first step towards keeping it alive. So here are the exact years I'd pay the closest attention to. The engines carrying the biggest risk are generally the earlier generations. If you're looking at a car built roughly between 2014 and 2018, that's where you'll hear the most horror stories about wet timing belts breaking down prematurely, excessive oil consumption, and engines suffering from oil starvation. Even some cars produced up to around 2022 weren't completely out of the woods. While improvements were made over the years, the wet belt design itself was still present in many versions, and a few component-related issues continued to appear. So, I wouldn't judge a PureTech purely by its badge. I would always check exactly which version and production year I'm looking at. Then there's the more recent issue we talked about earlier. But just as owners started to relax, Stellantis discovered a second, completely unrelated problem. This time, affecting some of the newest engines on the road. In early 2026, Stellantis launched another major recall affecting around 700,000 vehicles globally, including roughly 44,000 in the UK, equipped with the newer 1.2-liter 48-volt mild hybrid engine. Unlike the 2025 campaign, this wasn't related to oil jets at all. Engineers discovered that, under certain conditions, contact could occur between the gasoline particulate filter pipe and a protective cap near the starter generator system. Over time, that could allow water to enter areas of the engine bay where it shouldn't, potentially increasing the risk of overheating or, in rare cases, fire. The repair itself was also relatively simple, with dealers replacing the affected protection cap free of charge. So if you're shopping for a newer Citroën, Peugeot, or DS, The specific wet belt nightmare that gave these engines such a bad reputation is far less likely to be something you'll ever have to deal with. But here's the part that really surprises most people. The difference between a minor repair and a completely destroyed engine often comes down to how quickly the problem is caught. If belt debris is discovered early, you might only be looking at replacing the timing belt, cleaning the lubrication system, and changing the oil. It's still not cheap, but it's manageable. Ignore the warning signs though, and the costs increase incredibly fast. Once the turbocharger, camshaft, or crankshaft bearings begin suffering from oil starvation, repair bills can easily climb into the thousands. Across Europe, specialist workshops regularly quote anywhere between €2,000 and €8,000, depending on how much internal damage has occurred. And if the engine has completely failed, replacing it can easily exceed what some older cars are actually worth. And if this breakdown has already saved you from an expensive mistake, hit subscribe. We cover the Citroën ownership issues, recalls, and hidden problems most buyers never hear about until it's too late. One final piece of advice I'd give any PureTech owner is this: keep every single service record. Don't lose invoices, and don't skip maintenance. Since 2024, Stellantis has extended warranty coverage on certain older 1.0 and 1.2 PureTech engines to up to 10 years, or 112,000 miles. And some owners may also qualify for compensation for previous timing, belt and oil consumption repairs. Eligibility often depends on your VIN and service history, which is why keeping the paperwork matters so much. After everything we've talked about, you might be wondering if Stellantis simply ignored the problem. Thankfully, they didn't. Over the last few years, they've quietly made a number of engineering changes aimed at fixing the PureTech's biggest weaknesses. Depending on the model and production year, newer PureTech engines received improved timing components, revised oil pickup designs, better belt materials, and in many cases, the original wet timing belt was replaced with a timing chain or a much more robust timing system altogether. On top of that, the 2025 recall addressed the defective piston cooling oil jets, while supplier quality checks were tightened to help prevent similar manufacturing issues in future production. Although interestingly, the PureTech name itself may not be around much longer. Stellantis has already announced an all-new 3-cylinder engine for future models, meaning one of the most talked about engine names in Europe is slowly heading towards retirement. That's why your VIN number and service history matter far more than the badge on the boot. So, if you already own one, here's exactly what I'd do. Check your VIN for any outstanding recalls, including the 2025 oil jet campaign and the newer 2026 mild hybrid recall. Keep a close eye on your oil level, never ignore ticking noises or oil pressure warnings, and stick religiously to the correct oil specification and service intervals. If your car has covered high mileage, I'd also have the timing system and oil pickup inspected before problems appear. And if you're buying a used Citroën, Peugeot, or Opel with a PureTech engine, don't just look at the mileage. Ask for a full service history, proof of regular oil changes, and confirmation that any recall work has already been completed. Personally, I'd lean towards the newer production cars with the updated timing system because they eliminate much of the wet belt risk that gave these engines their reputation in the first place. As a Citroën enthusiast, I don't think the PureTech story is one of a bad engine. I think it's a story of an ambitious design that stumbled, learned some hard lessons, and eventually became much better. The key is simply knowing which version you're buying and looking after it properly once it's yours. So, have you owned a PureTech? Was it reliable, or did it give you headaches? Let everyone know in the comments. And if you still think steel wheels look cooler than alloys, you legally have to subscribe. Now, choose your next watch, our ranking of every modern Citroën from worst to best. Or let YouTube surprise you with a video picked just for you.